this show would have been a banger. But to me, this show just not it, man.
The show is trash. The new Velma show is trash. Is that Warner Brothers isn't gonna think it's just the show?
And you for some...
Just because you are an Indian loser does not mean Indians are losers.
This is something that's like...
Hello and welcome back to my channel. So you guys, I bring you this interesting video that I found on TikTok. It's a whole collection of videos, guys, in one video. So guys, just in case you missed this whole scene beginning of this year, I am here for you guys. You've watched, people are talking about Mindy Kaling. Without wasting much of your time, let's just get straight into the video so that you know what I'm talking about. It's like Mindy isn't representing the South Asian women well. She's not representing them so well that she allows these jokes to be made about her features, her body appearances whatsoever. She's not representing well, like people, Indian people, most South Asian women are not liking this at all. So let me just play a little bit of a clip from you know, Velma, the new cartoon released I think last year or the other year. So yeah, let me just play a clip of what I'm talking about, and then we'll go straight into the stitches. The whole Indian community, mostly Indian people, came out for Mindy. So yeah, let's watch the clip.
I was waiting to shower alone. Because of your weight? What? No. Because of your handsome face? My face is fine. Because of your hairy gorilla arm? No. Yes. Underneath this banging new Luke, Velma is still the fashionably challenged loser we depend on for group projects.
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye. Okay, so at least you get the idea of what I am talking about, guys. So this is what people are not liking. This is what most Asian women, mostly Indians, are not loving, guys. So yeah, let's just get straight into the video, because I mean, if you just go on TikTok and search Mindy Kaling, you have all these videos coming up on TikTok. If you're interested in going to, you know, doing your own research, go ahead. But otherwise, let's just stay and watch the stitches, but leave your thoughts in the comment section below. So let's just dive straight into the stitches.
Okay, I will explain to everyone what's going on with the brown girls and Mindy Kaling, but also I want to offer up a different side of the story as well. So Mindy Kaling is a very successful Indian creator. She's created very successful TV shows, but the trope in her shows is that a lot of her protagonists are female Indian characters who absolutely hate themselves, hate their backgrounds, you know, always end up with a white man to be vindicated in their lack of popularity. And I can see why that's frustrated, and I'm frustrated by it too, don't get me wrong. I just want to say that we probably cannot fathom the racism and the internalized hatred that Mindy experienced as a woman of colour in that industry and being that high up in the industry. And so I think a lot of her shows are just projecting on how she felt about herself being the only woman of colour in these situations. The thing is, I think Mindy has done this, and I think she has done a good job at representing her experiences. But I think that as a brown woman with a platform, she has a moral duty to do a good job in representing us and not making us comic relief anymore.
No. Because of your handsome face? My face is fine. Because of your hairy gorilla arm.
I've recorded this so many times. You have no idea. Because I don't even know what to say. Like, I know what to say. I just don't know how to execute it. And I feel like I ramble, but it's getting irritating. Mindy, whatever your name is. You're becoming very predictable, and it's becoming very blatantly obvious that you hate yourself, and you for some reason don't like being Indian. There are so many beautiful things about being Indian, and I'm all about self-deprecating jokes, but I don't think you're joking. I think you just hate being Indian, because everything you make is just you being like, Indians, we're just strict, and we don't like ourselves because we're hairy, and no boy will ever love me because I'm Indian. Like, chill out with that shit, you know what I mean? And then it's like the rest of that scene with Velma, she like gets revealing clothes and she does her makeup, and then everybody's like, oh my god, I changed my opinion, you're actually not a gross hairy monster. Okay. Like, and then it's always like, oh, I have a white boy love interest that we hate each other, but we kissed one time and now I'm deeply in love because I've never kissed a boy before, because who would want to kiss my ugly Indian face? Yeah, it's getting irritating, and that's it. I don't know what else to say. Ugh, it's embarrassing.
Let's talk Mindy Kaling, because she is the definition of a South Asian race traitor. All of her roles are meant to portray a stereotype of a South Asian woman who has trouble with her own culture and her own identity. But what ends up happening is her roles are a mockery of that. They turn such deep issues for South Asian women to such shallow things, and it gives such a fake pseudo representation, all to just honestly just shit on brown women. Like, that's all it is for. It's literally just to shame and shit on South Asian women and put it in a show and call it, like, I don't know, self-exploring cultural identity. That's all of Mindy Kaling's roles. I can't even think of one in recent history that wasn't that exact same trope. It's kind of disgusting and abhorrent, and she's basically commodifying South Asian stereotypes for her own money.
This time is not the greatest time in career of Mindy Kaling, but I feel like she does really have some talent, because if you've seen her, I haven't seen her most of the shows, but I've seen Never Have I Ever, which I really liked, except from the part where I see that her main character David does not like her own culture. He doesn't like being Indian, especially it's really noticeable in first season. And I think new season of this TV series could be some kind of saving grace for Mindy Kaling, because next season hopefully we will see how David will grow to love her culture, to accept herself, to be closer to her family, to her traditions, liking their, and maybe seeking relationship, trying to find someone. It will go into the second part. She will stop looking for the relationship at all. Maybe that will be a really good start, or restart for Mindy Kaling.
So this is a conversation about POC solidarity. I respect Mindy Kaling's work and her, like, as an individual and her own journey with deconstructing white supremacy in her own life, but this is not like a victimless situation. Like, anything she's done to bolster white supremacy in her media is like an issue that affects every single person of color. So even if you're like, the South Asian community knew and we were fine with it, like, girl, honestly, that's not even the case, because I've seen a lot of like South Asian creators on my timeline like lamenting about this exact issue. But even if it was, it's not like a close the gates, like it's just a South Asian issue, because no, like Mindy and the way like throughout the years and several different instances she has presented whiteness as like the gold standard and what everybody should strive to be is harmful for everybody who's not white. Even the Caucasians sometimes. There's been some improvement, but it's definitely not something that gets to be explained away and excused.
Hear me out. It's just a bad show. Look, I like Mindy Kaling. I love the Mindy Project. I really did. But it does not work in this scenario. What she's trying to do with Velma doesn't work. She's taken Velma and made her some superficial brat, and it doesn't work with her. And it feels like they're trying to be edgy for the sake of being edgy and different. And look, we only have 2 episodes, so I'm not going to sit there and try to judge too harshly, but the 2 episodes that we have are bad. Point blank, period. There's nothing else to it. There's nothing more. It is just bad. It works with Harley Quinn because it looks like that's what they're trying to do, but it works with Harley Quinn because Harley Quinn is a normally chaotic character surrounded by villains, so it works. Right now, with what she's trying to do with it, it doesn't.
When I was an undergrad, I used to really love Mindy Kaling because at that time, The Office was getting super popular, and it was amazing to see a South Asian woman who was darker skinned, who was fat, who was clever as hell. Anyways, clever as hell, with an Ivy League degree, move into pop culture with this much fanfare. It meant a lot. But when we critique Mindy Kaling and the work that she puts out and endorses, it's not as if we approach that critique assuming she's going to tell all of our stories perfectly or have this universal narrative that uplifts us all always. That is the farthest thing from the truth. Representation without any substance is really harmful, especially when shows like Never Have I Ever and Velma, the large target audience are white folks. Of course, South Asians and other people of color definitely connect with the media, but we know that white people imbibe this type of media and normalize these narratives. So when we critique Mindy Kaling and want to hold her accountable for the type of work she produces, directs, writes, or whatever verb you want to put there, it's with the same level of critique that we show people like Tyler Perry, Kenya Barris, John Leguizamo, Gina Rodriguez, Aquafina, who I would fight if I ever saw her. But thinking about the way that when you are one of the only, or maybe one of a handful of people with a platform, why is it that we only tell stories about our experiences as, insert marginality, as if we are the butt of the joke, where whiteness is always at the center, and in Mindy Kaling's case, where being South Asian is something to be ashamed of or overcome? If you watch Never Have I Ever or The New Velma, those stories perpetuate harmful stereotypes that have long existed before Mindy Kaling, will exist past her, and is all tied up again in white supremacy and living in the Western world, ethnocentrism and xenophobia. I'm like blanking on the word. And the same way that we critique Priyanka Chopra, who's also a South Asian woman, I don't look at her and expect her to represent all South Asians ever. But I will critique her for her Hindu ethnocentrism and all the other problematic things. No one person can be everything for us. And yes, Hollywood executives, producers, and non-South Asian folks are always complicit. They create the system and maintain it. But we have to ask ourselves, how do we, as people of color, participate, excuse, normalize, and celebrate the things that subconsciously and sometimes directly are incredibly harmful? These are the questions that come up when we say hold Mindy Kaling accountable, because we're tired of feeling as if we should be ashamed of who we are, what we look like, and where we come from.
I really don't know what to say. Guys, please go ahead, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what to think about this entire scene, this whole issue in the comment section below. And remember to like, subscribe if you have not subscribed to this channel, and I will definitely see you in my next video.